How was it like when you started? Were people very open to it, or they're like, what is Tshepiso trying?
I really, truly, honestly think it was just curiosity. It's like, what are these girls doing? Like, what's I like? Because we literally take out a table, sit outside, and just start asking people, please come and taste our pizza.
So now you're in Joburg. Is the dream still to make pizza, or is it something else?
The dream is to...
So during tough times, then what keeps you going?
It's the why. I think it's this strong mission of.
So complete the sentence.
Okay.
Having the audacity to believe means
trusting.
Pat. It's Pat on brands. Watch how you branded, man. A pat on the back is a pat from the man. Better be branded, man. A pat from the pat is a pat on the brand. If it's enormous.
Welcome to the Audacity to Believe Conversations, brought to you by Patron Brands in partnership with African Bank. As African Bank celebrates 50 years, we are highlighting 5 SMMEs who embody what their slogan stands for: the audacity to believe. These are stories of resilience, bold ideas, and the power of backing entrepreneurs who dare to dream. And I'm your host, Pat Mahlang. Let's dive into the conversations. Hello, everybody. Welcome to yet another exciting episode of the Patron Brands podcast. This is episode 2 of our Audacity to Believe conversations in partnership with African Bank. And we have another Tshepiso. How are you, Tshepiso?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Welcome to the Patron Brands podcast.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, Tshepiso, you are in a very interesting business. First and foremost, you are black and you are making pizza. The audacity. Can I just say, what inspired you to get into this business?
I think circumstance, to be honest with you, initially. Mm-hmm. I was previously working in the construction industry and I got retrenched. Yeah. It was just very difficult to find work. It took me a very long time.
And when was that?
So that was like 2017. So after months, after a year, it was like, okay, I'm looking for work and I'm not finding it.
Sure.
Something has to happen.
So when you say you were in the construction sector,
sure.
What is your educational background?
So I have a national certificate in civil and building. I did about 2 years at Wits with a BSc in construction management. So I love building things, I think, now in hindsight.
Gotcha.
But that's what I was doing primarily, working on sites. I'm doing a lot of admin, being a huge assistant to the construction manager.
Got you.
Yeah.
And now you get retrenched. You said you were at home for
a while. Yeah, I think and I have siblings. I have kids, and was like something needs to happen. So I gathered 2 of my sisters and said, guys, let's come up with a plan.
Yeah. So
my one sister, she was in hospitality, and so it was like, okay.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay, let's cook, let's make food. And it was like, because it feels like low entry, it's doable, Collocationing, we can sell plates. I'm like, I don't know about plates.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like there's anything special I can bring to that,
Yeah.
So we played around, we brainstormed. Yeah. But I was like, why not pizza? Because whenever I was working, I would always, after work, that's what I would have. Yeah. So I'm a big fan. I love sandwiches, burgers, pizzas, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And and then it was like, I was like, maybe. So I was like, let's Google, So we just went.
So you've never made pizza before?
I've never made pizza before.
Oh, heck. Not even at Pappuccino's.
Not at all. Not at all. But I mean, I checked a couple of videos. I was like, we can do this. Let's do this. Rakopanza 100 rand, walked to ShopRite, got like 1 kilogram of flour, yeast, a few veggies, some cheese. And we tested it out in my grandmother's garage. And I was telling Gadlehoe, it's like, for me, I don't know for them, but for me, it's like a light bulb went on. I felt like, whoa, we can do something here.
Yeah.
And immediately the next day, I was like, let's clean out the garage. We cleaned out my grandmother's garage and we started doing tastings. The oven we used like this One in the oven is already 2-plate.
Yeah.
Small one.
Yeah.
That's what we used for about 8 months until we got assistance to get a bigger oven. So that's how we started. Yeah.
Wow. And now the name Mwari.
Yeah.
Where does that come from?
It's a Shona word for God.
Oh. What inspired it?
I mean, I think at the time I didn't know why I felt very strongly towards it, but I had friends and family. So I have family in Limpopo, in Jalele, and so have a few friends who do come from like Zimbabwe and whatnot.
Got you, yeah.
So I've always kind of been fascinated about just language in general, but Shona, it was like, okay, I want something a bit unique, but something meaningful as well. So I think God, the source of creation, I think it works very well with what we're doing. Fire, things that start from nothing, things that are baked, high heat, high pressure. I think it just makes a lot of sense. Yeah, so Mwari Pizza is our name, yeah.
And how was the reception, from a community / customer-based perspective? I mean, here you are, you're in Kwa-Thema, it's a township, people don't associate pizza and ikasi.
Yeah.
you get me?
Sure.
So how was it like when you started? Were people very open to it, or they're like, what is Tshepiso trying?
I really, truly, honestly think it was just curiosity. It's like, what are these girls doing? Like, what's it like? Because we literally take out a table, sit outside and just start asking people, please come and taste our pizza. So I think
they were just tasting for free then?
At the beginning for about a week, until I was like, this is not sustainable.
Did you want them to taste forever?
I was like, oh guys, I'm like, guys, no, let's not do that.
Yeah.
So I think it was just like curiosity. What is this? Why? These black girls, that curiosity then turned into a really strong feeling of support, because I think us consistently doing, for the first week it was cute.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it for about 3 months, it's like, I think it drove something in people to say, okay, we need to support. And there was a huge support.
Yeah.
I think that for me, how we started with like the YouTube videos to using Facebook as a way to kind of rally support has shown me the power of social media. So people would come from like different sections of our township to say, I seen Monila go Facebook, pizza. And I want to have some. And we just, it was just like it was such a cool thing to do at the time. It was fun. It was exciting.
Amazing.
And I really, my hometown is really a special place for me, Yeah.
Great. And obviously COVID came. And how did you survive that?
It was really challenging. At first, we were still trying to push, because there would be these exceptions where to say people can collect through delivery and what, So we tried to ride that wave. But I think once it started pushing towards a year, it was like, it also changed the dynamics of the township in terms of like, there were people who just were not working. The spending power is different.
Oh, yes.
And so
pizza, I mean, it's a luxury.
And pizza, in the eyes of people who are earning a grant, it's like bread, pizza, So we had to, it took a while to kind of get to the decision of saying, you know what, it might not be working as well as we wanted to here.
Yeah.
We might need to sit down and have the conversation of closing. At the time we had a staff of about 5 people, and we had to really cut down everybody. And I had to start thinking. I actually went through a really huge mental breakdown because I didn't know how to navigate through that huge loss so suddenly. And then, I think about a year later, I made the decision. I think I need to move to Johannesburg. Yeah.
When you say Johannesburg, as in the city?
As in the city. I don't know.
When I grew up in Denelton, and when someone said they're from Springs, I'm like, we're Jews. So now when you say...
Wow.
Yeah.
Perception, wow, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
When we say, I'm thinking the city, the city of gold.
Yeah.
But it's also quite a daunting thought, like where do you even begin, So just started researching, looking for places, blah, blah, blah. And we've always been very strong on on the concept and the idea of collaboration, because I think for people who don't really have resources, the best resources that we do have is each other. So we would constantly be doing, offering our space to local entrepreneurs, local artists, people who would want to use the space for certain reasons, and vice versa. We would also lean into those relationships. So I had built a relationship with a group of gentlemen who are called Homegrown Shandis. And what they do is they are basically a collective of small businesses that work together as a group. And others, they make shoes, others, they make clothing, others do design, you know, sort of that retail fashion space. And they had a space in Johannesburg called Transwerk Studios. And so they were like, when I decided, I want to come to Johannesburg, they was like, okay, come through, we'll figure things out. And that's how I was able to at least somehow plant myself and start building relationships around Johannesburg.
So now you're in Joburg. Is the dream still to make pizza, or is it something else?
The dream is to... So I have this line, or rather this mission that I'm very passionate about, which is to change the world one pizza at a time. And I think that what that really, in essence, means that I'd love to build a community around this product where there are people who we call pizza people. And what does that mean? It means people who are curious about the world, people who are authentic in terms of who they are and where they come from, people who are creative. And when I say creative, I don't necessarily mean that you have to be a singer or an artist, but I think who are creative in solving the problems around them, and people who really want to be effective and be impactors in wherever they are. So I think that's what I'm trying to build, but the vehicle is the pizza.
I mean, now that you are in Joburg, right? Obviously, it's a big market, it's a big city, it's happening. But do you have a dream of going to Italy? Don't go to Milano and actually see where it's, this pizza thing originates and how it's been made? Or have you been already?
Not yet. I've actually put on my vision board that 2026 is the year that I do go. Wow. Because I think one thing I love about the culture and the food is the simplicity. And I think I try to bring that through with what we do, in everything that we do. And so I love the freshness in terms of food, and I hope that comes out with what we do as well. So it's important for me to go. I think it's also crazy to imagine that here's a girl from Kwa-Thema who's pushing a product that is highly associated with this European country,
Have you met other pizza makers? Like, I mean, if you I mentioned Papa Pronto or Papaccino's, all these famous Italian restaurants, just to maybe, learn from them.
I think a big part of your journey, especially again, because you're doing a product that's not necessarily native to us, it's constantly going to pizza places. This is why I'm not losing weight. So it's constantly testing and seeing what are other people doing out there. Sometimes I'll have chats with the chefs or the person who's making it. But in general, it's just tasting and seeing look and feel, the vibe in terms of the spaces that they offer. Because, food is very sensory. And we're still genuinely still in the startup phase, if I'm being honest. So how do we... not necessarily emulate, because I think that we have something special to bring to it as well, because we're Black and we're from the township. But we also, I think, have a very global outlook in terms of like who we are and what we want to aspire to be. So we have this name that we're busy working out, like branding and marketing, like of late. So recently someone was like, I feel like, because we're eating location, these guys, we call them Matariana, like the stylish guys, so a combination of that, so we call them Afro-Italianas. So
interesting, because I'm not sure if you remember, I think some years ago, Fetis and Moniz actually had a campaign around
Yes, I don't know why they actually haven't pushed with that, because I think that was like a nice way to like tie in us with this product that again is from like another space. So I see that. I see because we have a flavor called morojo.
Oh yeah,
we've done what we call a quarter pizza. We've done ways
in my head I was like thinking about a quarter pizza.
Yeah.
And already you guys have done it.
Yeah, I mean, like, and that's the beauty of like pizza. Like, you can really experiment. What? Like, you can experiment with like a lot of flavors. For now, we've kept it very, very simple with about 5 or 6 flavors, especially because we're trying to get people just to know who we are.
Yeah.
So we have, like I said, morojo, which is wild spinach, onion, and tomato, which is I think a touch of where we come from. But on a pizza. So it's like we are these global but local, but also very African. Yeah.
Gotcha. And where do your paths cross with African Bank, speaking of being African?
My paths crossed with African Bank when I was previously on a program with 22 on Sloan.
Okay.
And when they then started this ESD program, they called us up.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy that they did.
Oh yeah?
That they did, yeah.
What impact has it had on your business?
Major. I think there's also something to be said about a intentionally African-focused financial kind of entity saying, we see you, because you go everywhere trying to find assistance and resources, and just for someone to understand what you're trying to do. And here and there you do get help. I mean, we've been helped by, like, let's say the Goethe Institute here and there for small programs, small things. But for a bank, to say, your African story now, it's valid and we can see what you're doing and we're fully behind it. I think that's a huge thing. So we're going to do that physically by supporting you. We're going to give you resources and we're going to give you the tools to forge forward, I think. Yeah.
Sure. That's amazing, man. So now if I want to have a taste of, Mwari Pizza, how do I get to it?
Okay, so in 2 ways. One, we have a container in Kwa-Thema Springs, so you are able to
Is
order.
That permanently there?
That's permanently there. So the idea with that is to hopefully multiply this business model of where we train young people how to make pizza and other.
Oh, you also do training?
Yes, I mean, like, we're trying it out. That's something that is a new kind of thing for us.
Creating your own competition.
Well, the training, the idea is because it's a challenge to also find people who know how to make it. I mean, it's not an incredibly difficult product, but to find people who can make it at a certain standard and that that you've worked with before is a challenge. So the idea is for us to build our own staff, have them, once they're done training, then they are able to operate in the business, because we do envision.
So you're creating your own pipeline.
Correct.
In a way.
Correct. So that would be one way. And then another way would be us finding us at a market or an event, because we do have a mobile trainer. Yeah. But we offer experiences as well. So you can call us and say, I have 5 of my friends or I have 10 of my employees and we want to do a pizza workshop. So we come and we show you guys how to make your own pizzas. You guys
bring your own oven, or must I have my own oven?
We bring our own oven.
Oh, okay. So it's mobile.
So it's mobile. Yeah. So we do that, birthday parties, events and things like that.
Wow, that's amazing.
And then, so the idea is to build up to a point where we do have stores around. Yeah. But for now, that's what we do.
I mean, earlier on in our conversation, you made mention of the fact that when you sat with your sisters and you brainstormed, you had a light bulb moment, going, this is it, right? Yeah. But obviously at the time, it was just an idea. Sure. Right? Then now you started this thing, you started working on it. At what point, again, you had that light bulb moment to say, this is it? Like, because now it's real, it's happening. Was it a big order? Was it someone saying, hey, that you have so much respect for, saying, I'm loving this?
Yeah, I think for me...
What was the thing that reassured you?
The thing that reassured me, quite a few moments actually, because as you go along the way, you sometimes you wane in your in the belief of the thing that you're doing. But I think it was the first time where there's a lady called, I just forgot her name, Me Florence. She runs a pizza franchise in Pretoria.
Oh, yeah?
And she came to the store. Wow. And I think, and then I also went there. I think I reached out to her on Facebook and I was like, hey, this is what I do, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, wow.
Is it her own brand?
I know, it's a major franchise she was a part of, that she owns. Rebel Pizza, that's what it's called. Yeah. Okay. And she was like, okay, please come. And then so that you can see, how a store is actually run. So I spent the day with her. Oh. And she showed me around, a bit of like a take a girl child to work day kind of vibe,
Yeah.
And then she was like, okay, I'm going to come to your store. Yeah. And she came to the store and spent a day as well as equally. And she saw how we were running things and she gave advice and whatnot. So I think it was seeing someone who looks like me doing it and then who was like, you're onto something. Uh-huh. So I think that was like another moment. I was like, okay, I can take this seriously.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
So during tough times then, what keeps you going?
It's the why. I think it's this strong mission of wanting to be an impact changer. So I feel like the work hasn't even begun. Mm-hmm. I feel like there are so many ways and so many directions we could take with this. I think that we haven't even gotten to the point where we can really say we've built a completely solid business as yet. Mm-hmm. So I think that is the thing that keeps me still going, this challenge of can I get it to the point where I have 20 stores in Gauteng, is that even possible? So it's the why. It's the why. I really, really strongly believe that this is a brand for Africans. I really think, particularly SADC, I think that there's room, there's space for us to do something with it. I just need a lot of
resources.
Yeah.
African Bank to pack you some more. To pack you some more. But I mean, if there's like, obviously you've met this lady who's in the same industry as you, and you're motivated doing this thing, right? But what is the one sort of advice or best advice you've ever received as an entrepreneur, as a business owner?
I think the training we did with African Bank was quite intense and there was quite a lot of things to take away from it. A big thing was being very clear about what you're doing. I think, yes, you're making pizza, but what really is the business model? I think clarifying those things. Yeah. It's difficult to pinpoint to one thing, but I think that program itself really, really like uncovered a lot of challenges that I'm facing internally myself, even as an entrepreneur. Yeah. But also to see that there's so much opportunity out there and there's a lot of work to be done. I think also understanding the difference between like branding versus like marketing. I think like those fine lines.
Oh yeah, what is it? School me.
Mr. Pet, this is you should be telling me. But I was seeing that, I think sometimes you can confuse one for the other where you are not necessarily speaking, you're not even clear who you're selling to sometimes. Yeah. And what does that person look like? Where do they reside? What do they need? What is the specific need that you're kind of serving? Yeah. So I think for me, that whole program just really, really, it's really a great impact for me. Yeah.
Yeah. But now, obviously, you are here. I heard you earlier on mentioning that, you've got ambitions of 20 stores, maybe SADC, sure. But obviously to get there, you need resources like we made mention earlier on. But hey, do you have timelines for that, or it's just we want
yeah. We have timelines. The next 2 years, we definitely need about a store that we're running. Next year, we want to have a store in Johannesburg, coinciding with the one that we have in Kwa-Thema. Because I think the Kwa-Thema thing it's really a big test for us how to manage that.
Yeah.
Again, constantly like working around township dynamics is always going to be like a challenge.
Is it?
But a fun challenge. I like township. I like my heart.
What are some of the challenges?
I mean, one is the Black township consumer I think is surrounded by so much of the same thing. Mm-hmm. Two, when it comes to food, particularly food, there has been like a huge surge in sort of like the Americanization in terms of like township food. So there's a lot of like burgers, pizzas, chips.
Interesting you say that. I've got a friend, he also operates in a township setup, and it's got an establishment. And he was telling me that he sells way more burgers than the local KFC. I was like, damn.
There's a huge shift.
Yeah.
There's a huge shift. And more than anything, there's also townships are just very, very, in terms of product, are very alcohol driven. So it's also like a question of, do I pair that with, because is there a need for me to do that? Because
so you must get a liquor license. It must
these
joint.
But do I want to be that also? That's the question. If KFC can make it, how are they doing? So it's just these big chats that you have when it comes to the township, but in Johannesburg on its own, I think it's more lifestyle than it is the brand, than it is the product. So because people can get any smash burger anywhere, they can get a pizza anywhere.
Of course.
But it's sort of like the connection with us, like who do they think we are in terms of perception? What spaces do we occupy? But yeah, I think one space in Johannesburg for the next year and one in Kwa-Thema, and then for the next two, and then just really dominating weekend markets as much as possible. Much as possible. So establishing ourselves in that space is really, really important for us. And then, the next 5 years, I really, really need a solid team to make sure that this thing does come to what it needs to be. But I do think that Gauteng, we want definitely more than one spot,
So, I mean, I'm not sure if you are aware, African Bank is turning 50,
Yes.
And this year, and what does it mean to you as a small business owner? Do you think that 50-year milestone for African Bank is one that you can also reach? Or Mwari Pizza can reach? Yeah?
I think so. I think I was reading a book that I think African Bank, actually they mentioned African Bank in that book, but it's written by, I just forgot the gentleman who wrote it, but he used to be a journalist, and he was just describing the story of entrepreneurs from Soweto, and that journey from basically nothing to where we are with Soweto as a township, and how that landscape looks like for entrepreneurs.
Yeah,
I think that there needs to be a really strong collective kind of conscious movement in terms of how we operate as businesses. I think we can reach that 50-year mark, provided we are able to find other people who we can just forge forward with. I don't think it's a singular story. It's a singular goal that someone alone can achieve. 50 years is a long time. You need a lot of people, a lot of money to be able to get to that. Gotcha. But if African Bank can do it, surely we can do it as well.
So before we wrap up, looking back, what is that one thing that really tested your audacity to believe?
COVID.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, COVID, I think. Everything that I knew to be working in one way shifted completely.
Sure.
Time almost felt like it stood still for those 21 days leading on to 2 years, really.
Sure.
And I think that it has forced us to, not just myself, but as a community, as a people, and maybe as a country, to have to think things differently. I'm so glad that, again, like I said, having gone onto this program with African Bank, because it showed that, yes, resilience is resilience on its own is a tool, you know, withstanding through all these, really something that we didn't know could actually even happen, you know. So, yeah, COVID really tested. Yeah. But we made it to the other side.
Of course. Look at you now. You're on the Pattern Brands podcast and you are telling the story. I mean, come on. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it was that moment. But I'm incredibly grateful for that moment as well, because I saw how challenging things could be. But I also see now that, like, if I could go through that really, I can, you know, having a low bank balance is nothing now, you know. But I'm not saying don't give me money.
Okay, I get you. So complete the sentence. Okay. Having the audacity to believe means?
Having the audacity to believe means trusting in your story. I think trusting in yourself, trusting in what you have to bring to the table.
Sure.
You're enough.
Go. You are so deep, right?
I'm a woman.
I get you. I get you. And if there's anyone that's, you know, touched by your journey, by your story, and they want to learn more about pizza, how do they get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of us on all major platforms: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, and all of them were at Mwari Pizza. Yeah. So please look out for us. Please reach out also. We want to do things. We want to do a lot of things with kids, families, friends. Yeah. Please reach out, yeah.
Amazing stuff. Mwari Pizza, and that's Tshepiso Sibisi. And it was a complete coincidence that we had two Tshepisos coming on the episode back to back. But both of them absolutely phenomenal people, really amazing. And I'm really inspired, you know, by your audacious journeys, you know, of starting. I mean, who thinks of starting a pizza joint in the heart of Kwa-Thema, you know, and have ambitions of growing it to become a really a force, you know, in our communities. And I wish you nothing but the best, you know, on this very audacious journey, you know. Pizza, morojo on a pizza. I mean, come on, quarter pizza. Yeah. No, but you are really audacious. Eh?
Thank you so much, Pat. We have to be.
All right. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and to share this very, what I want to say, you know, seldom I feel emotional a bit, you know? Yeah. You know, about your journey. And I think many of us during the COVID-19 pandemic contemplated our futures, you know, in terms of how do we even continue to survive, you know. I started an agency in the heart of the COVID-19 pandemic, but sometimes, you know, they say tough times never last, but
tough people do.
So here we are.
I do think, sorry Pat, to cut you off, but I do think that what you've built is also quite impressive. Thank you so much for also just showing that it is possible, you know. I follow a lot of your interviews and I think that you're doing an incredible job. Thank you.
Thank you. I see I'm getting some flowers. Hey, thank you so much. I really appreciate those kinds of words. And yeah, for me, Pat Mahlangu, Inakhailale.
Pat. It's Pat on Brands. Watch how you branded, man. A pat on the back is a pat from the man. Better be branded, man. A pat from the pat is a pat on the brand. If it's enormous.